My name is Kelly Geisler, and I'm so excited to see all of you here. I'll give you a quick introduction of myself. I have been a foster parent for almost 32 years. I have taken care of medically fragile children while raising my own children at the same time. And I currently have kids with ADHD, one with a G-tube and chronic constipation, depression, anxiety, OCD, bipolar disorder, an eating disorder, a genetic condition called neurofibromatosis. And in my family, I have someone that is battling cancer, fatty liver disease, scoliosis, arthritis, blindness, autism, cerebral palsy, and diabetes. Whew! That is a lot. So over the course of several years, I have felt really drawn to lead my family in better health through nutrition. So I have been trying to prioritize nutrition and nourishing foods over convenience. And so in this class, I'm going to offer a lot of different suggestions or ideas. Please don't feel like you need to do all of them. I don't want you to leave overwhelmed. Take one or two things, build upon this, and hopefully you'll get something out of this. And in the interest of time, just because I want to get through all of this information, I'm going to leave a few minutes at the end for all comments and questions. So if you guys can just wait till the end for that. So as women, as mothers and women, one of the most powerful things that we can do every day is feed the people that we love. Food is more than calories. It's nourishment, connection, and preparation. And so today, we're going to talk about going back to the basics and feeding our families with intention. So God designed food to nourish us. And in Genesis chapter 9, verse 3, it says, "Everything that lives and moves about will be for you. Just as I gave you the green plant, I now give you everything." So some of the challenges that we have with our modern food system is that they choose convenience over nourishment. We have highly processed foods with long ingredient lists. We have depleted soil nutrients that go along with our very busy schedules. So as a result, we've seen a 42% increase in ADHD. 1 in 5 adults struggle with depression. Anxiety rates have increased 52% since 1990. And according to a Lancet study, 3 out of 4 people will be obese by 2050. According to the Yale School of Medicine, a significant factor of the rise of autoimmune disease is environmental influences such as industrial food additives, increased pollution, higher levels of stress, and our Western diet that is so highly processed. So none of this is meant to overwhelm you, but to empower us to act, because we do have a choice. So we can intentionally choose whole foods, home cooking, know where our food comes from, and teach our children about food and nutrition. In October 1973, Ezra Taft Benson gave a talk called Prepare Ye. And in that, he states, "The revelation to store food may be as essential to our temporal salvation today as boarding the ark was to the people in the days of Noah." So, why do we store food? So, security for emergency situations, supply shortages, rising food costs. Buying in bulk is financially wise. Preparedness, having ingredients on hand allows us to cook for our families. No more running to the grocery store for just that one ingredient, just in case of job loss or peace of mind. And I would add too that if you were to turn on the TV and watch the news, you might feel inspired to save a little, store a little food. So that's And the church has been asking and telling us, commanding us for many, many years to be able to store food. I think the emphasis has been for a long time on a year's supply of food storage. I think we're saying more of a, let's do a 3-month supply and build upon that. So, the Bishop's Storehouse is located right behind Deseret Industries on Val Vista. These are the products that they sell. There are plenty of resources the church has put out to be able to use your food storage, get started, get a plan together, as well as lots of YouTube videos, lots of Instagram or Facebook accounts or websites that will help you and inspire you to be able to store your food. Did you want to jump in at any time? Or you're good? Okay, no pressure, no pressure.
I just would add my testimony to that. Laura knows the story of that when my family was growing up, 9 kids. When my dad had to pay back a significant debt to buy himself out of a challenging situation. For a long time, we lived off of our food supply. I learned how to soak the wheat. You had to put it in the soak in the morning, grind the wheat, and try and get the sand out of it. Grind the wheat grind, make our own bread, make our own food.
Yeah.
It was remarkable.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, President Graff. Okay, so I would say the most challenging thing is that every single one of us in this room is at a different place, right? So whether you're empty nester, just starting out, like we're all at different places, maybe your goal would be to have a 1-month supply of food, or maybe you're a 3-month supply of food. Maybe you're just trying to get through the week, and that's the best that you can do. And so we're all a different place, so I would encourage you to evaluate your own family needs and where you're at, and start there. One resource that has been really helpful for me, I'm not affiliated with this company at all, but this has been a great resource to help me build my food storage, is Azure Standard. Oh, I didn't realize I left out the M. There really is an M on the .com, not .co. So Azure Standard is an online grocery store. It has so many products on there. Is there anyone in here that has used Azure Standard? Okay. Oh, Carrie. Okay, so Azure Standard, you can buy fresh fruits and vegetables. You can buy plant seeds. You can buy high quality frozen meats. You could buy chicken feed on here. You can buy food storage containers. There are so many different products that you can buy on there to help you get started. And one of the things that I love about Azure Standard, I know it might be hard for some of you to see, but this over here is a 25-pound bag of rice. So you can buy the big pound of rice, or it offers different sizes. You can buy a smaller, depending on your family's needs. So if you wanted to try out a product, but you didn't want to commit to the giant size of it, it offers different sizes. So you place an order. It ships once a month, and there's a central drop-off location, which is located behind the Queen Creek ALA, 8 minutes down the road. So it drops at someone's house, and you just go and pick it up. So, and the prices are great. So very competitive with Costco. In fact, some of the prices are just exactly the same. And I prefer to buy from Azure for some of these products because it will come in a paper sack or a glass container. And one of my own personal goals is to have a plastic-free kitchen with all the microplastics and everything. I know we can't get away from them, but I'm trying to do my part in minimizing them. So I appreciate the fact that there's less plastic use in that. So let's see. Okay, so I store a lot of my foods in glass containers. You can see all these glass containers up here. A lot of ball jars that I use. I got the ball jars. These are half-gallon. you guys can see, half-gallon containers that I just got from Walmart. And then these cute little, I like the cute little lids. I also just got at Walmart as well. So, but you can just get the screw-on lids, you know, that they come with. So these, according to, you know, what you're using, I just put them in different size jars. And then I also transferred my spices into these jars. I really like to be able to see how much I have. I'm almost out of them. They're like on display, and helps me keep like just a visual inventory of them. These glass jars they're gallon containers, and I just got off of Amazon. So, for instance, this 25-pound bag, if you had a 25-pound bag of pinto beans, you would want to store it in a 5-gallon bucket. And I line it with a Mylar bag, put the food in there, and put this gamma lid on top. This allows me to access, you know, the beans easily when I need them. You can see this is, sugar, and I need to order because I picked the one that was the most empty to haul in here. But if you were to buy that smaller bag that I held up, a 5-pound bag would fit nicely in a 1-gallon jar. So, depending on your family's needs. Okay, so let's talk about buying in bulk. So, sometimes I know storage is an issue. We don't build homes for food storage. There's no, you know, ideal, there's no basements. But let's just get an idea of cost. So if you have 2 pounds of organic jasmine rice, $3.83 per pound. If you buy 5 pounds, it drops down to $2.88. But if you buy the 25, it's $2.17. So it's quite a big cost savings if you are able to buy more in bulk and be able to store it versus, you know, a smaller quantity. So buying in bulk has power and saves you money. So we're going to talk about preserving food. We're going to go through all the methods of being able to preserve food. Did you know that the FDA states that frozen food can be stored indefinitely and that the recommended storage times are for quality only? I thought that was interesting. I didn't realize that. You just want to make sure you have an airtight container and label it and date everything. So you can freeze in glass, you can freeze in plastic, and you can freeze in silicone. This book right here, this is by Crystal Schmidt, Freeze Fresh, I have loved. This has really opened my mind to all the different ways or different things that you can freeze and how to go about it properly. So it's been a great book. And I think I got these on Amazon. I actually gave them away to my friends for Christmas. They're maybe like, yeah, sorry, Marissa. Maybe like $10 or something like that. I should have looked up the price, but it's not an expensive investment. And then these are silicone cubes. Did anyone get these at Costco when they had them? They sell them on Amazon, but these Costco ones are just a little bit better. And they come in different sizes. I have loved these. These have been so amazing. And so if I'm making dinner and I have rice, want to see those? If I have rice, I will intentionally make a little more rice than I know I need, and I will put them in the freezer cubes. I let it cool completely before I seal it and put it in the freezer. But when you're done, when it's frozen, you just pop it out and you can store it in a bag, and then you have these little cubes of whatever food you just had. And so they have different sizes. So you can use whatever. You could put leftovers in these, cook once, eat twice. I love that always. And those have been super helpful. In fact, my dad was over last week, And I said, oh, I remembered I had soup in one of these. I said, would you like some soup? And so I popped one out and sent him home with a little frozen cube of soup he could eat for later.
Does one container pop out pretty easily without the other one popping out?
Yeah, super easy. I have really liked them. But you can also get those on Amazon because I don't know that Costco still has those. Again, nothing wrong with Ziploc bags, but I've chosen to use these from, I just bought them on Amazon, and they're silicone bags. They're reusable. And this is a wet erase marker. So you can see I wrote cookies on here. You just take something wet and it's gone. So it's great for your canned foods. I will say I've struggled with the freezer ones because of the condensation. They wipe right off. But anyway, but this has been super helpful tool to have in the kitchen. I just got on Amazon. Of all the stuff that I brought, I forgot my freezer food. But I was going to bring you some samples of things that I have made for my family. So I still have little kids at home. I'm still making school lunches and after school snacks and all the things. So we have tried different recipes of things that they like, trying to get more health and nutrition in their little bodies. So one of the things that we will make, I do these little pizza rolls, and we'll make our own pizza dough, make pizza rolls, and we make tons of them. And then I just put them in these freezer bags. We have so many of these freezer bags, they stand upright like this on the bottom shelf of the freezer. We will do taquitos. I will make a whole bunch of cooked chicken in the Instant Pot. It cooks in 10 minutes. It is so moist and tender, and I will weigh it and wrap it in parchment paper. So I'll have all these cubes of chicken breast. So if I'm making a soup, I can just grab one and throw it in the soup, and it's already pre-cooked chicken, shredded, ready to go, or a casserole or whatever. But it just helps tee me up to be able to have success and provide for my family. So, but same if your family loved French fries or, a certain vegetable or whatever, I'll just mass produce and freeze those. Oh yeah, show foods from the cooler. There's no cooler. Okay, so dehydrating. So dehydrating is great because it is lightweight, it's nutrient dense, and it extends the shelf life of food. So dehydrated foods will last 4 to 12 months in a glass jar, and they'll last 1 to 3 years in a vacuum sealed or Mylar bag. And if you don't have a food dehydrator, there are things that you can do just in your oven. So summer's coming up, kids will be home. You can make fruit roll-ups just in your oven. You can take something as easy as a jar of applesauce and make some fruit leather, and your kids will love it. Kids, grandkids, it's super fun. So that is great. And don't forget to look on Facebook Marketplace, because if you're in the market for a dehydrator, you may be able to find one on there for really cheap. Okay, so fermented foods. I love fermented foods. I have a personal goal of trying to incorporate fermented foods into my diet every day. They're so good for your gut health. So sauerkraut, yogurt, kimchi, pickles. You can ferment vegetables. You don't even have to do it yourself. This was just at Costco. You can buy it. Azure Standard has some as well. So fermented foods are so good. There's a pickled onion recipe that my daughter absolutely loves, and I try to keep that regularly stocked. And that is a really easy recipe to be able to make. Okay, freeze drying. Does anyone in here have a freeze dryer? Okay, yay, you should teach this section. But freeze drying is awesome because it removes 95% of the water content, and the food can last up to 25 years. So it's fantastic for putting in your 72-hour kits. It's lightweight, and it retains so much of the nutrients and the vitamins. So one thing that I regularly stock in our home are these. My kids love them as snacks. I put them in school lunches. And you can buy these from Walmart or Winco Foods. So just really easy, good, nutritious snack. Part of our food storage, but we eat it on the regular. Okay, so canning. Let's go into canning. So I only have so much freezer space, right? I don't know about your freezer, but mine is to capacity. So I love canning for the fact that this is shelf stable because I can only put so much into my freezer. And I just love it so much. So here's a book that has given me some great ideas and recipes, but you can even go to the library. The library has books on canning. They may even have this one, but if you were just interested in it, wanted to learn more about it, you could check out books and see what's possible for canning. So why would you can food when you can just go to the store and buy it? Thank you for asking. That's a great question. So it is, in my opinion, so much better. So much better quality, so much better taste. It's more cost effective. Canning, once you get over the initial cost of your supplies, it's a fraction of the cost. And again, as I'm trying to avoid BPA lined cans, this is plastic free. So I love that. So just to give you an idea of cost. So if I were to buy organic pinto beans and can organic, let's see, a 5-pound bag, I would get about 18 pints of pinto beans, which would equal 65 cents a jar. But if I bought the 25-pound bag of the same pinto beans, I would get 90 of these, which would bring it down to 49 cents per. And so I think if you went to the store, this would be like $1.50 to $2.50, something like that. So it is cheaper to be able to do that. Okay, so that's right, I didn't have that slide. So, my pressure canner here, this is my pressure canner I got off of Amazon for $130. This 30-quart pot I got from Walmart. It was $85. It has, I looked up the price, it has raised to $100. But anyway, just to give you an idea, and then this beauty I bought at a yard sale for $5. So this is a steam canner. So anyway, I've loved using them. So returning to whole foods. In Doctrine and Covenants, 89, 10, and 11, it states, all wholesome herb God hath ordained for the constitution, nature, and use of man, every herb in the season thereof. So I had originally had different products that scheduled slides that we were going to talk about of foods from, back when I was a kid versus now. And the list of ingredients, are much different today than they were back then. But in the interest of time, we don't have time for that. So we're going to go straight to bread. Bread is something that we, most households stock on the regular. And modern wheat has been changed from our traditional wheat. It's very different. It's been selectively bred and hybridized. It has higher gluten levels, and it's made quickly with commercial yeast and additives. And if you look at the ingredients for store-bought bread, it's 20 to 30 ingredients. If you look at the list of ingredients for homemade bread, it's 4 to 7. So quite a bit different. And just in going through this, one of the ingredients that I discovered that they put into bread is azodicarbonamide, or ADA, which is a whitening agent or a dough conditioner. And this particular ingredient is also used in yoga mats and in shoe soles. And so therefore, it can't be good for our bodies. Thank you. So not to shame anyone that buys store-bought bread. Just be wise. Read the ingredients. We live in such a great time where we have access to so many choices. So just buy better. Read those labels. Okay, does anyone in here make sourdough? I know Marissa. Marissa's the one who taught me how to make sourdough. So sourdough is definitely having its moment. And so the benefits to sourdough are the fermentation helps to break down the gluten, reduces phytic acid, and it improves mineral absorption. And so some people have a better, easier time digesting sourdough than they do other breads. So, oh no. Okay, we're going to go into meal planning. For me, this is probably one of my biggest challenges is meal planning, trying to come up with a plan. And I think, okay, I could make this, but that person doesn't like it, or I make this and this person doesn't like it. I don't know that I have one meal that everybody likes. And yeah, if anyone can relate. And we've all heard this. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So there's a ton of different tools available for meal planning. There's meal planning apps. You can use a dry erase board. You can write it in your planner, put it on a sticky note, print it out. One thing that has been really helpful for me is a shared notes on my phone, because I can share it with my husband and change it really easily and just keep a running list. I can see what we've already done and put the time and effort into that meal plan. If you need new recipes to inspire, ask your friends. I just recently was at a friend's house. I took her some bread, and we were talking about recipes, and she let me borrow one of her cookbooks. And so I was able to look at the cookbooks, and it was new to me. I will go to the library. If you see right here, this stack of books here, these are all from the library. I've actually never checked out anything other than a cookbook from the Chandler Library. And so you can go to the library for free and get cookbooks and capture these recipes and have new inspiration. But that's something that's really easy. My next tip, I love this app. And I've had several of my friends get this app. It makes sharing recipes really easy, organizing them, and it even allows you to rate them. So it's called Recipe Gallery. I have no affiliation to this company whatsoever, but and I'm sure there's other apps out there as well, but this one has been so great. So you can see these little, I don't know what they are, but like this one's rated a 3, that one's rated a 2. Honestly, if it's not a 4 or 5, I just get rid of it in my app. Because I'm never going to make it again. I just take out the clutter. But it makes, if someone were to say, hey, could I have your recipe for whatever, I can airdrop it to you. I could email it to you, send it to you. It just keeps it so organized. And if I'm at the store and I'm like, oh, I should make that tonight or whenever, I can look up the ingredients and make sure I have all the ingredients because they're always on my phone. And I'll say a couple of weeks ago, my daughter-in-law came to me and said, my sister and I decided all we want for Christmas are your recipes. You guys, I am not that good of a cook. So that was such a compliment, because I do spend a fair amount of time researching, looking at new recipes and trying them. I have a personal goal of 1 new recipe per week, and that we all sit down and we rate them. Some of my kids are pretty brutal. Like, it's really hard to get a 5 out of them. So, how am I doing on time? Okay. So, let me go here. Mosiah 4:27, and see that all these things are done in wisdom and order, for it is not requisite that a man should run faster than he hath strength. So this should be my motto, my theme song. If I were to get a tattoo, this is probably what I should get here, because I just tend to go a little bit big in things. So in teaching all of this, take one thing or two things that would work for your family. It's not designed to just overwhelm you and to add to your list, but hopefully that this provides you some new things to be able to try, to learn a new skill, and to build some confidence and have joy in the kitchen. But give yourself grace. Life is busy, and we can't do it all. So we're here to just support one another. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Does anyone have any questions? I do. Yeah. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad you liked it. Yes.
So when you were talking about the different storehouse, is that somewhere that you can go get stuff, or I just thought that was kind of nice that people going to get there.
Yeah, I know that you can get food there. I believe you can, according to the website, I believe you can also get canned food items. Okay, thank you. Twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays.
And Saturday is like 10 to 12, and Wednesday is 11 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to watch the hours.
Yeah,
So it's not.
they have very, very limited hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Sourdough has only 3 ingredients. And if anybody in the store buys a sourdough, it has ingredients, but that's really sourdough. So it's only 3 ingredients. If they don't have 3 ingredients, then you don't buy it.
Yeah. But do your best, because not all of us can, I mean, in a perfect world, but not all of us can, stay at home and just bake bread. So, yes. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I haven't had that problem. Does anyone have any suggestions?
Get your flour in your freezer. It tells them.
Okay,
And then once you're out, apparently it's done.
yes, I do put my flour and my rice. If I get rice, like even in these big bags, I'll put them in smaller bags and freeze it, and then I'll store it. Have you done that? Oh, okay. Lots of protein. I love it. Okay. Yeah, over here. I have them. I'm not 100%. I go for an 80-20 in my life. Like I'm shooting for 80%. So yes, I have plastic, but I use those mostly. Mm-hmm. Microplastics are everywhere and you can't avoid them. I mean, they're in the air we breathe. They have found them at Mount Everest. They've found them in polar bears. It's everywhere. It's in breast milk, umbilical cords. Like, it's everywhere. So I know I'm not avoiding them. I'm just doing my part. So, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Did someone over here have a question? Oh, yeah.
Ask about like protein sources, like what do you find is the best for your family and like where they get them? Where they're affordable, right? Like
Yeah.
good sources of protein like your chicken.
Yeah.
Like that.
So I have found Azure Standard has some great prices on good quality meats. I've also Wild Pastures. That's a website that I have shipped to me. And not this last time because they were out, but I have found chicken breasts at Sam's Club that is organic. And it was $5.86 a pound, which I know probably sounds terrible, but it was the best price I've ever found. So we bought tons of it. I canned it, I cooked it, shredded it. So yeah, I'll just buy in bulk. Those are ones that I have found. I don't know if anyone else has found others. Yeah.
Do you like to look for alternatives if you don't have, like, affordability to get, meat at your person? What would be suggested, alternatives to?
To meat, well, like as far as like beans, if you were just beans are a great source of protein and very affordable.
And how do you stop the celery?
That's a good question. You soak your beans first. Take your time to soak your beans before, and that helps.
And dump the water.
Yes, and dump the water.
So if you're not familiar with canning and you want to start canning, where do you start for beginners?
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. There's no shortage of people out there offering.
Because I have most of this stuff.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Yeah. I will say it can be intimidating for a pressure canner because it's under pressure. And this particular canner, before I used it, I looked up on YouTube and there was this older gentleman who put out a really poor quality video that was so helpful. He walked me through everything, every detail of this, and I was so grateful. I don't know why he did it. He just put it up on YouTube, and it was only for this specific canner.
Because you can
Yep, you can pressure can or water bath, and have it be shelf stable. So, yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for coming.